Discover the secrets of income generation for commercial artists. Join me as I reveal the results of the survey of the business of lettering and illustration, where hundreds of creatives from all over the world share the ways in which they create income for their businesses, as well as the rates they charge for editorial, publishing, advertising, and packaging projects. Get ready for eye-opening insights into the business of lettering and illustration. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to another episode of Open Studio. I'm your host, Martina Flor, and in this solo show, I share strategies and tactics that you can use to propel forward your career as a lettering artist, illustrator, creative, or anything you want to be. On our last episode, I shared with you the different ways in which I create income for my business as a lettering artist, as an author, and I also share what are some of the rates that I charge per project. I also invited you to take part in a survey that we were running with my team on the business of lettering and illustration. We wanted to survey our audience and other lettering artists and illustrators to understand in which ways you are making an income for your business, in which ways you are monetizing your skills. And Today, I'm going to share the results with you. We have surveyed hundreds of creatives who have gone through the survey and have answered the questions. And I'm going to share with you a few results. And I'm going to kind of reflect on those results. But I want to strongly encourage you to go check out the full results of the survey. You can find them on martinaflor.com/survey minus results. So again, martinaflor.com/survey minus results to see the full report of the survey, right? Now, let's dive into the results right away because I have so much to share with you today. First of all, I want to tell you that we asked the participants to tell us where they are located. So 37.5% of the people who answered the survey are based in Europe. 30% are based in North America. 20% are based, or roughly 20% are based in Central and South America, and 12% represents the rest of the world, right? So just to get an idea of who are the people or where are they based, yes, and also that has an impact. And I mentioned that in my previous episode where I share, what my income was and what my rates were, and in which ways I was creating income for my business. I also mentioned that, according to where you're located, the rates that I'm sharing or the income that I'm sharing may seem like a lot, may seem like very few. So according to where you're located, you may need more or less money to make a living, to support your livelihood, right? So this is why I'm sharing with you who is the people who took the survey, because that also has an impact on the results. That also tells you, okay, according to where they are located, they may need more or less money to sustain their livelihood, right? Now, some of the people who answer the survey, or actually 35% of the people that answer the survey, haven't launched their business yet. That means that they're not working professionally as freelancers, or they don't have a solo business, right? And they may do illustration or lettering as a side hustle, as this job that they create for that friend or that uncle or whatever, but they haven't launched officially their business. And for those that were already freelancing, For those, we went deeper. So for those that took the survey and said, yes, I'm a freelancer, either I'm just starting or I'm an established freelancer, then we went deeper and we started asking, okay, how much do you make per year? What is your main income stream? What are other ways in which you create income for your business? What are your rates when it comes to editorial work? What are your rates when it comes to advertising? What are your rates when it comes to publishing, to logotype? And these are the results that I'm gonna share with you today. So I just wanted to give you this brief introduction of who are the people who took the survey, where they are located first, and second, what is the percentage of people who were actually working professionally as lettering artists and illustrators. And it turns out that around 65%, 68% of the audience, roughly, were already, or the people who took the survey were already established, or people who were already freelancing, either just starting or established freelancers, right? Now, what I'm gonna share with you next, it's what struck me the most out of the survey, which is that we asked the participants to answer, do you do work for clients, right? Or do you do one-to-one client work? And roughly 95% of the audience said yes. And what is also very surprising is that client projects were the number one income stream for most of the artists, right? And I always I highlight this because I often speak in this podcast about how many possible ways you can create income for your business, right? And how we as artists, creatives, we always tend to think that, client work is the only way to create income for your business. Whenever I speak to someone who is thinking of launching their business or studying freelancing, the first concern they have is that they don't have clients, they don't have a client base. And I always say, you don't necessarily need to do client work to sustain your livelihood as an artist. You have several ways of creating income for your business. However, it seems that client work is one of the main sources of income for many of the artists that took the survey. However, I was positively surprised to realize that many of them also have other income sources, and I'm gonna share those with you right away. So when it comes to client work, roughly 95% of the surveyed artists and creatives said that yes, they do client work for one-to-one clients, or they do client assignments. Roughly 5% or 6.2% said that they don't do client work. Now, in terms of how many projects they take on per year, most, or I would say roughly 35% said that they take between 5 to 10 projects per year. So that means that with 5 to 10 projects per year, they made most of the income for their business. Or this is what I dare to say, that if they're taking client projects, or if most of the audience or the people who took the survey are taking on client projects, and they take between 5 to 10 client projects per year, with those 5 and 10 client projects per year, they can sustain their livelihood if they don't have any other income source, right, for their business. I am assuming right now that they don't have any other, but we will see that many of them have other income sources. So, but what I wanted to mention here in terms of the amount of projects they take on per year is that most of the artists take between, or most of the responses are between 5 to 10 client projects per year and 10 to 20 client projects per year, which, if you think about it, is not a lot. If you think that with 10 projects you can sustain your living, or you can make an income as an artist, is something to look forward to, right? And it means that you will be taking care of taking on just 10 to 20 projects per year, or 5 to 10 projects per year. Now, when it comes to alternative source of income, the results where we were, just to give you an idea of how the survey was. So we were presenting several different ways or sources of income, like a shop, an online or a physical shop, teaching and teaching workshops or teaching online, artwork licensing, collaboration and influencer projects, right? Book royalties, speaking, and other sources of income. Those were the categories that we were presenting, right? Now, most of the, or around over 35%, yes, over 35% of the people who answered the survey, they presented an online shop as the main source of additional income, right? Or the main source of, or alternative source of income. Then second in the row is teaching and workshops, right? And third in the row is artwork licensing. For if you're wondering what artwork licensing is using your art, selling your art to people for a fee. Selling your art to people. The most common way or the most common way out there of artwork licensing is, for instance, photography licensing, right? You can license the use of a photograph for a card, and according to how many cards you're gonna print, how long you're gonna use the image, and whether you want to use that image exclusively or not, you will pay a fee, right? So this is what clients would do for you. If you do artwork licensing, essentially you would charge a fee for allowing someone to use your artwork, right? So this was third in the line of alternative sources of income. Now, there was also fourth comes collaboration and influencer projects, and then we have book royalties, speaking as the I would say like the minimum percentage answer is speaking. Now, what is interesting is that over 27% of freelancers don't have alternative sources of income. So they rely solely on client projects, which is something I never encourage here in this podcast. I often encourage you to create alternative sources of income for your business for one simple reason, which is that if for some reason client work drops or one of your main clients just fades away, you have leverage, you have ways of creating alternative income for your business to compensate that, right? So moving on, and this is very interesting, and this is I would say one of the main reasons why you should go check the survey online, or the full report of the survey online on martinaflor.com/survey-results. Again, martinaflor.com/survey-results, because we asked all the participants to tell us how much roughly they charge for different categories of assignments. So we presented different categories like editorial illustration, mural design, advertising, branding and packaging, and book cover. And we asked them to tell us what is the average rate that they charge per type of project, right? And this is what I feel is very useful and very empowering for a fellow creative, a fellow artist, for you that are listening right now. And I know that the episode in which I share my rates and in which I share how much I charge for certain projects, this really resonated with some of the listeners and with some of my followers on social media, because they felt like, oh, okay, look, she is charging this. Then if she's charging this, I can charge that too, right? And I know that Victoria, for instance, she was telling me on social media, hey, Martina, that was so eye-opening that is really encouraged me to charge more for certain assignments, right? And this is why we also included this in this survey. Although the survey was mainly about understanding what are the different income sources of artists and creatives out there, we felt that this was a great opportunity to understand also how much is being charged per type of projects, right? So, for instance, we found out in this survey that most the highest rates are within advertising. So those lettering artists and illustrators that are creating assignments for or commissions for advertising, they charge the highest rates in comparison to mural design, to branding and packaging. So for instance, editorial illustration seems to be the type of assignment that pays less, with roughly with somewhere in between $1,000 and $2,000. Then followed by book cover, which is also closer to $2,000 as an average. I'm saying an average. I'm not saying that this is the only rate you can charge for a book cover, right? This is an average of all the answers, right? Now for branding and packaging, this is also closer to advertising in terms of how much you can charge or how much is generally charged, ranging close to or averaging close to $7,000. Remember that this is just an average. Some people answer 15,000. Some people answer 3,000, right? And this also changes a lot according to where these people are located, right? So this is just an average, just to give you an idea of what the average is. And then you can adapt this average to your own reality, to your own location, to the type of clients that you're working for, right? Mural design. Mural design is also in the range of the $4,000, between $4,000 and $5,000 on average, right? So this is very rich information because, as I mentioned before, this will vary according to where you're located, where the clients you're working for are located, because you may be located in a country where you don't need that much money to make a living as an artist, but you're working for international clients who have, who are ready to afford higher rates, right? So this is just information that you can adapt to your own situation, to the kind of market you work for, your location, the location of your clients, the type of projects that you work for. But this gives you already an idea, a sense of what your pricing could be, right? And remember, this is just an average, and it's just a guide to get an idea of how much you could be charging, right? So again, I just gave you a very rough overview of what the average rate per type of project, or the results of the average rate per type of project that we got from the survey. But again, I want to encourage you to go check the survey results on martinaflor.com/survey-results. I'm going to add this to the show notes, but you can go check it out there. So moving on, I'm getting towards the end of the survey results. So, and this is very insightful. I love this. I love when a survey gives you not only practical information, like how much do you charge for certain projects, but also it gives you it surveys some of the mindset or some of the thoughts that the people who participated in the survey is busy with, right? So we asked in the survey, how happy, tell us how much you charge per project, how much you charge roughly per type of project. But then we ask our participants to answer, okay, how happy are you with how much you're charging for your projects, right? And 50% said that they are okay with how much they are charging. Now, less than 7% said that they are happy with how much they're charging, right? Which is a very low percentage. And roughly 45% say that they are undercharging, or they feel that they are undercharging. That means that roughly 95% of freelancers and freelance lettering artists and illustrators feel that they could charge more. And this is very, very interesting. These are the kind of insights that made me think like, oh, wait, there's potential here. There's something that needs to be changed. There's something that needs to be improved. Now, we went deeper with that question and we asked, okay, why are you undercharging? Or why, if you feel that you are undercharging, to that roughly 95% of the participants that said, yes, I feel that I am undercharging. Then we ask, why do you feel you are undercharging, right? So most of the participants said that, or roughly 65% say that or said that they are afraid of overcharging and losing their client. 35% they are just lacking confidence, or they reported just lacking the confidence to charge more, right? And the rest, just to go through the numbers, 29% said, I don't know how to calculate my rates, which is striking. So, or almost 30% of the people, of those freelancers that were going through the survey, they don't know how to calculate their rates. So I also see potential there. Like there is a way in which you can calculate your rates, of course. Otherwise, how do you charge for a project? You just come up with a number, right? But there's strategies, there's frameworks you can follow to calculate your rates in a way that is first reasonable for you to make a living as an artist, but also that presents you in the eyes of your clients as a professional, right? Because if you are charging a very slow sum for a project, your client will not see you as an expert, right? If you are undercharging your work, not only you're not making enough money to make a living, but also your clients do not see you, because you're undercharging, do not see you as a professional. They may think, okay, she or he is so cheap because she doesn't have much experience, and she's just starting, or she's not as good as I thought, right? And this is where other problems come in, because you may get the project, but then that client doesn't really trust that you can do the job, so they start micromanaging you and kind of being on top of you. So there's a lot of implications to undercharging your work, and seeing that 30% of the people who went through the survey don't even know how to calculate their rates, makes me think like, wow, there's so much potential there, because there is a way of calculating your rates, and it's not rocket science, right? And you need to understand this in order to run a successful business. So I don't want to get too passionate about this, because I'm really passionate about this, but I don't want to go too deep into this. But I just wanted to give you an overview of what are the reasons why those artists that felt that they were undercharging, what is it that they are, what is it that is holding them back? So as I said, roughly 65% are afraid of losing their job, 35% are lacking the confidence, roughly 30% are, they don't know how to calculate their rates. Yes, and then there's roughly a 10% that is thinking that the less they charge for a project, the more work they will get, right? So that to give you an idea of what are the reasons why artists are undercharging. And then, as I said in the very beginning, we were asking, are you working professionally as a lettering artist or illustrator? Are you already an established freelancer, or are you, do you already have your own solo business? And some of the people answer no, right? And for those people, we also had questions. And one of the main questions was, okay, why is it that you haven't launched your business yet? Or why is it that you don't dare launching your business? So 40% said that they are afraid they won't make enough money, right? Which is it's interesting, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, after years of being an artist myself, having to deal with my own mindset and my own limiting beliefs, and working with hundreds of and thousands of artists throughout the years and coaching them in their businesses and stuff, I totally understand where this 40% of people who are afraid of not making enough money, I totally understand where they are coming from. But it's striking just to see the huge number of people who, without even trying, they believe they won't make enough money, right? Without even trying, they just assume that this is a fact. Now, also roughly 40%, they feel they lack the talent it takes, right? They lack the talent it takes to make a living with their skills, which is also another limiting belief, right? And I know that this is a big one. I love this result because it just crystallizes many of the things that I discuss with my students and the members of my coaching programs every time, right? These are all limiting beliefs that hold many artists back and many creatives back from even trying, right? Now, 31% say that they haven't launched their business yet because they are missing the guidance, right? And this I can totally relate. We never get to learn anything about business, not in our school. And it's one of the reasons why I have stepped forward to create a coaching program for lettering artists and illustrators, because this is not there. And I know that having the guidance, and I know that for myself, that having guidance in my business has made all of the difference throughout the years. Having taking part of coaching programs, being coached by a coach was the difference between running a successful business and just going to get any job out there. So I know how much of a difference that it can make, and I totally understand those that are being held back by the fact that they are missing the guidance, that they don't know how to do it. So these are some of the main results that we got from that survey. As I said before, the survey is very insightful, and I want to encourage you to go check out the results on martinaflor.com/survey-results so that you can get the full report. There's also some really nice comments that the people who went through the survey left at the end of the survey. We allowed some spaces to leave comments that have to do with, hey, what would you say to someone that is thinking of launching their business or growing their business as a lettering artist or illustrator? And they really dropped some encouraging words, and we have included some of them in the survey as well. So I believe that the survey is not only insightful in terms of what are the things that you could be doing to make an income as a lettering artist or illustrator, how much you could be charging for projects, but it also is inspirational in a way that it's inspirational just to see that there is artists out there making an income with their business and their skills, and that also some of the things that may be holding you back are some of the things, the things that you're feeling right now are totally common and totally normal, and it happens to a lot of people. So you're not alone in this. I think that this survey also shows you that whatever you're going through, if you're facing challenges in your business, if you're not daring to charge more, if you are not daring, if you're not taking the step of launching your business because you don't trust that you have what it takes and stuff, these are, you're not alone in feeling this. And there's other people out there who are feeling the same way. And I think it's very empowering, encouraging, and it just feels good to know that you have a community that could potentially support you in your journey. So I want to encourage you again to go check the survey results on martinaflor.com/survey-results. You will find also on that website or on that article, you will find also an invitation to join my upcoming workshop called Secrets of Success as a Commercial Artist. I am hosting a series of workshops on the different ways in which you can monetize your work, and I want to invite you to join a community of hundreds of artists that join this workshop every year. This only happens once a year and is totally for free. It's a series of workshops that you can go through and you can follow live. And throughout this workshop, I'm also gonna introduce some of the work that I do inside my business coaching programs for lettering artists and illustrators in my academy, and you will get a taste of what, how that works and what that looks like. So go to martinaflor.com/survey-results to get the full report of the survey and to also join the workshop. You will see that there's some highlights in this article that invite you to join the workshop. You can just sign up and I will send you a confirmation. Thank you so much for joining today's episode and have a great day. Bye-bye. So this is it. I hope you loved this episode. You can find me, the host of the show, on social networks at Martina Flor on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. If you have a question or comments, go to martinaflor.com/podcast, where you can see previous episodes, find show notes, and send voice memos with your comments and questions. You can also watch these episodes on YouTube. Just go to martinaflor.com/YouTube to find them. You can, of course, listen to all our episodes on your favorite podcast platform. If you loved this episode, subscribe to this podcast. And if you leave us a review, it will help others find us. Thank you all for listening, and see you in the next episode of Martina Flor's Open Studio. Bye-bye. Hey, learning and mastering hand lettering can be incredibly overwhelming and frustrating. However, a proven framework can help you see real progress, populate a portfolio with standout work, attract paid assignments, and become your source of income. Sign up for my upcoming free masterclass called A Roadmap to Master the Art of Hand Lettering and Unlock Your Full Potential as an Artist. Hear what previous students have said about it.
Hi, my name is Joke and I'm a lettering artist from the Netherlands. I always thought I knew about letter forms and how to create them. But somehow, whenever my lettering was off, I never quite knew what it was or how to correct it. I now feel a lot more confident in my lettering and I know what to look for. I know how to correct my own mistakes. And it's amazing.
Sign up now through the link in the description of the episode. I'll see you there.